Welcome to Dunder Data Pandas Challenge number 1. These are daily exercises to challenge your pandas skills. Take all of the challenges at python.dunderdata.com. Let's get started with this challenge. You'll be selecting the first 5 rows for columns title and salary. Now for all of these challenges, you're going to be reading in the dataset as a data frame in the first cell. Let's go ahead and execute that and see our data. So we're going to be reading in the employee data set. So each row here represents a single employee with some attributes about them. So let's go down into the body of our function. This is where our code needs to be. So the function will accept the data frame, in this case, this employee data frame, and we're going to need to return whatever the challenge says we need to return, which is another data frame. In this case, a 5-row data frame of just the columns title and salary. So we need to delete this raise not implemented error and begin our code here. So this is a fairly simple exercise. We can immediately do this in a single line. We will use the return statement. And then we just need to make sure we use this df variable name and not emp or whatever the data frame variable name is read in. So remember, we're inside the body of the function. We need to use the parameter name over here that the function designates. So df it is, and to select columns from a data frame, we use a set of brackets that follow the name. And if you want to select multiple columns, you need an inner set, which represents another inner set of brackets, which represents a list. So here we'll just write the title and salary columns like this. So that'll select all rows for columns title and salary. And we want to select just the first 5 rows, so we can just do dot head like that, and that should do it. So let's go ahead and execute this function, or execute this cell, so we have this function available. We can now test our solution using the cells below. So if we scroll down here, we'll have this view solution function. This is just to help you view the correct solution so that you can more easily test that it is correct. Without this function, it'll be difficult to determine whether or not you have the correct solution. So let's go ahead and execute this cell. It just provides this function available in your namespace, and then we're going to use it over here to see the solution. All right, so in this cell, you'll get to actually test your solution with the entire data frame. So here we're going to pass in emp. That's the variable name that we chose to use to read in all of the data. So we're going to pass in the entire employee data set into our function, and we get this result. And now we can see the actual solution by calling this cell, which we'll call the view solution function. So everything appears to be correct. Sometimes it's hard to tell whether a data frame is exactly correct. And the way we're going to do this is actually in this next cell using this assert statement, and we're going to use this equals method from the data frame. And so let's just go ahead and execute this. Now, I executed this and nothing happened, which means this data frame equals this one exactly, and is shown to be a correct result. If there was an error here, if you got some sort of an exception, that means there's something wrong with your code. So that wraps up challenge number 1, a fairly simple challenge where we just select 2 columns and then the first 5 rows of those 2 columns. If you enjoyed this challenge and would like to learn more, then check out all of my books and courses at dunderdata.com. I provide a comprehensive path for mastering both Python and Pandas to produce trusted results.